The sky was calm just moments before it happened. People were walking, driving, laughing, and living their usual lives. But everything changed in an instant. A strange sound like deep thunder echoed in the air, but there were no clouds. No storms. Then, the first shadow appeared. Above New York City, something massive blocked the sun. People looked up and froze. A ship, enormous, silent, and shaped like a dark blade, hovered above the skyscrapers. Within seconds, more reports came in. London, Tokyo, Delhi, Cairo, Sydney, Moscow. One ship above each major city. No one spoke at first. Fear made the world silent. News channels broke in. Unidentified objects spotted worldwide, the headline said. But everyone already knew the truth. They were not from Earth. The alien ships made no move. They just hovered. No lasers. No weapons. No sound. For hours, nothing happened. And that silence was more terrifying than war. In Washington, D.C., the U.S. president met with generals. In Russia, alarms rang inside underground bunkers. In China, satellites tracked every movement. But the ships stayed perfectly still. People asked the same question everywhere. Why are they here? Then finally, the sky changed again. A beam of soft blue light came down from each ship, forming large holograms in the air. It showed a being tall, glowing, with soft silver skin and long arms. It spoke in perfect English. We are the Valari. We are not your enemies. We came because Earth is in danger. Shock spread across the planet. Was it a trick? Another form of control? The Valari continued. A force greater than us is coming. A machine race called the Zorith. They will arrive within one Earth cycle. If they reach this planet, your species will end. People began to panic. Some cried, some prayed. Some refused to believe, but then the ships opened. Floating platforms came down from them, carrying alien technology, weapons, and strange devices. They were offering help, training, defense systems. It seemed real. At the United Nations, the Valari leaders met with Earth's governments. They looked calm and wise. They said they had saved other species before, but this time they came early. They believed humans needed time to prepare, but not everyone trusted them. In a military base in Nevada, Colonel Miles Carter watched the broadcast and frowned. He had seen war. He had seen liars. And something felt off. These aliens, he said to his team, say they're here to help. But look at their ships. They came ready for battle. That means they expected resistance, or something worse. His words echoed in the silent room. In a small village in India, an old woman watched the sky from her roof. She remembered stories from her grandmother, old stories about beings from the stars, gods who walked among men. She whispered, they have come again, but they are not gods this time. Meanwhile, in Antarctica, something strange happened. A Valari exploration drone, scanning the frozen ground, picked up an unusual signal. Deep beneath the ice was something human-made, but it was far older than any known civilization. A structure, humming with faint energy. The Valari reported it to Earth scientists. A research team was sent. What they found shocked everyone. The buried structure had no clear doors or windows, but strange symbols glowed on its surface. When a human scientist touched it, the lights grew brighter. The Valari tried the same. Nothing happened. Inside the base, hidden from the public, a message was decoded from the symbols. They will come, but we will rise. The Valari were disturbed. They had seen many worlds fall to the Zorith. Number. Species ever had such warnings? Or such confidence? Why did ancient humans expect something like this? Days passed. Humans began training with Valari tech. Energy weapons, defense shields, and tracking systems were shared. Cities were equipped with new force field towers. The world was changing, fast, still. Many humans were not ready to be protected like children. In Brazil, a young tech genius named Leo Alvarez built a system that hacked into the Volari frequencies. He found something strange: private conversations. Between the Volari, one message stood out. They are not like others. Their minds move unpredictably. We must monitor closely. If they turn, we will not stop them. Leo shared the file with his sister Maya, a journalist. She published the message on the underground web. It spread fast. Suddenly, the public wasn't sure if the Volari truly trusted humans or feared them. The Volari High Council released a calm response. Our mission is peace. But we have to understand your species. We cannot take chances. We have seen what war does. Please do not mistake caution for fear. But the damage was done. Now people were divided. Some wanted to fully join the Volari and follow their protection plans. Others believed humans should stand on their own. Protests began. Some cities blocked Volari tech installations. Others welcomed them with open arms. Colonel Carter was called to a secret meeting under the Pentagon. There, Earth's top leaders sat with a new message, not from the Volari, but from an old deep space listening station near Mars. A warning. Not from Zorath, not from Volari, but from a third voice. A dying signal, decades old. Distorted. Broken. But the words were clear. If the Volari reach Earth early, do not follow them blindly. Humanity must face the trial alone. It's the only way. The room went silent. Who sent this? One general asked. The technician shook his head. We don't know. But the tech used in the signal, it's human. And from over 100 years ago. That was impossible. Earth hadn't reached that far into space until recently. How could a message from the future be sent from the past? Colonel Carter stood up. I don't know what's going on. But I think this is bigger than the Volari. Maybe even bigger than the Zorath. Outside, the skies still held the ships. Above every city, they watched, not moving, not firing, just waiting. A child in Tokyo looked up from his school window and asked, Mama, are the stars still up there? His mother looked at the giant ship floating in the sky. They're still there, she said softly. We just have to look past the shadows now. And far away, in deep space, the Zorath hive mind watched Earth 2. Its thoughts were cold, mathematical, human species, fragmented, emotional, illogical, but dangerous. A pause, continue observation, delay contact. Let them show what they are truly capable of. The Volari came with a message of peace. They offered protection, knowledge, and weapons, but they also brought fear. Not just because they were powerful, but because of what they said was coming. The Zorath. A machine race, cold, silent, merciless. The Volari called them the Enders. They had destroyed over 50 planets. Each time they erased life, melted the surface, and turned everything into fuel for their giant hive factories. The Volari had fought them once and barely survived. Now the Zorath were heading toward Earth, but something didn't make sense. Why Earth? We were not the most advanced. We didn't have galactic weapons. Our planet wasn't rich in rare minerals. There were easier targets. So why us? That question haunted Commander Tren of the Volari fleet. He was stationed over Earth, watching the humans train with new tech. He saw their anger, their passion, their strange courage. One day, he called a private meeting with 2 of his trusted officers. There is something different about these humans, he said, something we didn't expect. I want answers. His team began to search Earth's ancient data, languages, cultures, myths. They found strange patterns. Across continents, across centuries, humans had stories of stars, machines, and battles from the sky. It was like they had seen this war before. Meanwhile, far below, in a secret research facility in South Africa, human Scientists worked with Velari engineers. Together, they examined Zorath wreckage from a lost battle, one that happened years ago in deep space. The Velari had kept it hidden until now. Inside the wreckage, they found something strange. A metal cube, still active, still humming. When touched, it showed a map, not of space, but of Earth, zoomed in, detailed, old. The map was dated 800 years in the past. Dr. Hana Ro, the human scientist leading the team, stared at it in disbelief. "This can't be right," she said. "The Zorath knew about Earth centuries ago. Before humans even had electricity, the Lari engineers confirmed the data. Earth had been marked a long time ago, before the Velari even knew of the planet. Back in space, a Velari war historian named Ilok pulled up ancient records. He found something terrifying. The first planet the Zorath ever destroyed was one very similar to Earth. Same atmosphere, same gravity, even similar life signs. That world, called Vetrax, had humans. Or something close. Ilok zoomed in on an image from Vetrax's surface, saved just days before destruction. The beings were not Velari. They were not Zorath. They were human-like, not copies. Not clones, not ancestors, possibly survivors. Ilok to Commander Tren, he said through the comms. "I think the Zorath are not just attacking Earth. I think they've been hunting this species, or something related to it, for a very long time." Back on Earth, strange things continued to happen. In Alaska, a hiker found a metal orb in the snow. It had strange marks, not Velari, not Zorath. When he touched it, it glowed and showed visions, battles, stars, and machines burning. He turned it in to the authorities. Velari scientists tried to analyze it, but the orb shut down when they came near. When a human child touched it, the orb opened again. The message was clear. Humanity is not weak. Humanity is hidden, the news leaked. People began to talk about the old war, a forgotten war that Earth may have been part of long ago. Theories spread online. Was humanity part of an ancient space empire? Did we fall and forget? Were we the enemy once? Velari leaders warned the world not to panic. But panic was already spreading. In London, riots broke out. People shouted, "Don't trust the stars." In Cairo, a temple wall cracked open during a small earthquake. Inside were symbols that matched Zorath designs, buried for thousands of years. How could that be? Colonel Miles Carter, now working directly with Earth's Secret Defense Council, held a meeting with top scientists and Velari officials. He pointed at a large screen showing Earth's timeline. "This is what we know," he said. "The Zorath are not just coming to destroy. They are coming to erase something, us, or what we used to be." He paused, then added, "Maybe we did something to them once, and they never forgot." The Velari Council didn't deny it. They admitted there were gaps in their history. Entire time periods were missing after the Zorath War. Records lost. Planets vanished without reason. Commander Tren stood and spoke. "We believed the Zorath feared power. Now I think they fear something else. Memory. They don't want you to remember who you really are." Meanwhile, deep in the ocean, a Velari drone found a massive metal gate, buried under centuries of sand. It was shaped like a wheel, with glowing lines. Human submarines joined the search. When powered on, the gate did something terrifying. It sent a signal, not to Earth, but into deep space. 3 days later, the Zorath responded. They changed course. They were now moving faster directly toward Earth. The Velari panicked. They believed the gate triggered something, or woke something up. Earth's leaders argued. Some wanted to hide. Some wanted to run. But Colonel Carter stood firm. "No," he said. "We don't run. We find out who we were. We find out what they're afraid of." Back in India, a young girl named Ria began drawing strange symbols in her sleep. Her parents took her to a doctor. The doctor called a Velari expert. What she had drawn was ancient Zoroth code. She had never seen it before. The girl said a voice told her to draw. The voice said, "We failed once. You must not fail again." The Valari now understood. Something had changed on Earth. Humans were awakening, not powers, not magic. Memories, deep, locked memories in our DNA, traces of a past life, a past war. Commander Tren spoke with Earth's leaders one last time. "I no longer believe we are here to protect you," he said. "I believe we were sent to witness something. Something impossible." The Valari ships began to power down. Their weapons, they didn't leave. But they stopped guiding humans. They watched, because something was rising on Earth. Something old, something dangerous, something that had waited a very, very long time to return. The world was watching the sky. Everyone expected the Zoroth to attack from space. They imagined giant machines dropping from orbit, blasting cities with fire. But the first strike didn't come from above. It came from the ground. From humans. It started in a hidden lab in the Nevada desert. Deep underground, past steel doors and secret codes, a team of rogue scientists were working on something ancient. Something not even the Valari knew existed. They called it Project GIIA. It was not a weapon. Not exactly. It was a system, half machine, half memory. Built decades ago, hidden, protected, forgotten. Until now, one of the scientists, Dr. Silas Creed, had always believed humans were more than they seemed. After the Valari arrived, he became certain. "These aliens are not here to save us," he told his team. "They're here to control us, just like the machines that are coming. But we have our own past, our own power. It's time we wake it up." He activated Gaia. And the Earth trembled. Across the globe, strange energy signals were detected. Valari ships panicked. Alarms rang. The humans had activated something massive and old. In Antarctica, the frozen structure from Part 1 began to glow. Symbols lit up the ice. Valari drones were sent to scan it. One of them melted instantly, without being touched. The Valari were shocked. Their technology was powerful. But something on Earth was stronger. Gaia sent out a wave of energy, not a weapon, not a message, a call. And humans, certain humans, began to feel it. In Japan, a soldier named Kenji fell to the ground during training. He had a seizure. But when he woke, he spoke in a forgotten language. The Valari recognized it, the old tongue of the V-Tracks. In Nigeria, a woman named Amara began to draw blueprints in her sleep, complex machines. Human hands couldn't build them. But her mind remembered. In Brazil, Leo Alvarez, from Part 1, hacked into a Valari satellite and saw something terrifying. Jaya had awakened something beneath the Earth, a structure, circular, alive, waiting. The United Nations held an emergency meeting. The Valari begged them to shut down Gaia, but Colonel Carter stood firm. "Earth has been attacked before," he said. "Our people forgot. But the planet didn't. Our ancestors built defenses. Now they're waking up, and we need them." The Valari were not pleased. One of their leaders, Counselor Vela, warned, "GAIA is too dangerous. If you continue, you may trigger the Zoroth early." But the humans had made their choice. 2 days later, the first real explosion happened. Not in the sky. In Geneva, Switzerland, a Valari tech station was destroyed by a human-made bomb. 3 Valari were killed. Surveillance footage showed masked attackers, no insignia, no country flags. Just one symbol on their uniforms, a red circle with a black line through it. A human resistance. They called themselves the True Path. Their message spread quickly. "We don't need alien protection. We don't need alien rules. Earth is for humans. We stand alone." Commander Tren watched the news in silence. He had warned this might happen. Humans were not a simple species. They didn't follow orders easily. Especially not from outsiders. In a private room, Tren met with Colonel Carter. "Is this your doing?" Tren asked. "No," Carter replied. "But I understand why they're doing it. They've declared war on us." "No," Carter said, staring straight into his eyes. "They've declared independence." Back in Nevada, GAIA systems were growing. Energy levels were rising. Dr. Creed and his team discovered that the machine was not just waking up old tech. It was building connections to human minds. One of the researchers, a young woman named Talia, began to hear voices when she touched the main core. Not hallucinations, memories. But not hers. She described battles in space. Commands shouted in strange languages, and always the same name repeated: Solara. No one knew what it meant. Was it a person? A place? A weapon? Gia didn't say, but the Volari knew the name, Commander. Tren found it in their oldest records. Solara was the name of the last free human ship from a past war thousands of years ago. It vanished in battle against the Zoreth. No one ever found it. Until now. Meanwhile, Zoreth probes entered the outer solar system. The Volari detected them, but didn't engage. They were small, silent, just watchers. But Earth saw them too. The signal from Gia had reached deep space. The Zoreth had heard. Now they were watching Earth very closely. One probe got too close to Mars. That's when the impossible happened. A hidden weapon, buried deep under Mars's surface, activated by GAIA signal, rose up and shot it down. Humans hadn't built that gun. Volari didn't know it existed. The only explanation? It had been waiting for a long time, back on Earth. Chaos grew. The Volari started pulling back their weapons and tech. If humans wanted to fight alone, they would not stop them. But something changed in a few Volari. A small group led by young officer Sira Valane decided to stay close to the humans. "We came to protect," Sira said. "But maybe we came to learn." Her team moved into GAIA's base. They watched the system grow. They saw human minds syncing with it, not forced, not programmed. Connected. Like they belonged. Commander Tren watched from above and began to doubt everything he had been taught. "What if," he whispered to himself, "they don't need saving? What if we're only here to witness?" 1 week later, something happened that shocked the galaxy. A group of human pilots, not trained by the Volari, launched their own ships. Built from human tech, mixed with GAIA's memory. Fast, agile, unpredictable. They called themselves the Reclaimers, and they attacked the second Zoreth probe near the asteroid belt. The battle lasted just 3 minutes. The humans won. Volari command watched the footage in silence. One of their generals turned to Tren. "This is not possible," he said. Tren shook his head. "No, this is human." On Earth, Colonel Carter stood on a platform in front of hundreds of soldiers. Behind him, Dea pulsed with soft light. All around them, humans worked, not in fear, but with purpose. "Years ago," Carter said, "we were told we were weak. We were told we needed help. We were told to sit and wait to be saved." He looked up at the sky. Well, not anymore. Cheers erupted. And far in space, the Zoreth hive calculated again. The result had changed. Human species, adapting. Rapid threat level increase. Confirm Solara signal. Prepare full deployment. The Zoreth were coming, but Earth was not afraid. Because Earth had remembered. And now, the real war was about to begin. The world had changed. People no longer looked up at the Volari ships in fear. They looked at the stars and saw something new, a battlefield. Earth had remembered its past through GAIA, through hidden weapons, and through ancient memories. Now waking in human minds. And Earth was no longer waiting. It was ready to fight, not just to defend. To strike first. The Zoreth were still far. But they had sent probes, scouts, and machines to observe. Watching from the edge of the solar system. They thought humans would react like every other species, with fear. They were wrong, because the next move came from humans. Colonel Miles Carter stood in the center of Earth's first true space war room, built deep below Mount Elbert in Colorado. Around him, satellite screens, radar maps, and holograms showed every corner of space between Earth and the outer planets. "We've located a Zorath relay station," said Commander Reyes, head of the Reclaimer fleet. "Small, but active. Hiding near Jupiter's moon Ganymede." "What's it doing?" Carter asked. "Sending data. We think it's reporting on Gaia." "And our weapons?" Carter didn't hesitate. "We're not waiting for war to come to us. We're going there first." 3 days later, the first human strike force left Earth orbit. The Reclaimers led the way, pilots trained in both Volari and GIIS systems. Their ships weren't smooth like the Volari crafts. They were rough, fast, built with both new tech and ancient designs from recovered memories. They had one goal: destroy the Zorath station. As they passed Mars, the Martian defense cannon, the ancient weapon Jaya had reactivated, gave them a silent signal, green lights across their path. Earth's old defenses were waking and recognizing their own. The Reclaimer ships reached Ganymede in 12 hours. They found the Zorath relay floating in orbit, silent, dark gray, and shaped like a spinning claw. It looked dead. At UASN single quotes D. As soon as the Reclaimers got close, the relay's claws opened and launched drone fighters, fast, insect-like machines with sharp wings and red glowing eyes. The first space battle in human history began, and it was chaos. Pilot Ren from Snowpalo took the lead. "Engage," she shouted. Her ship spun sideways, dodging 3 drones at once. Behind her, Kenji from Tokyo fired plasma rounds that cut 2 machines in half. Amara, flying solo, used a new energy shield trick she'd invented days ago: bouncing enemy fire back at them. VLI commanders watching from orbit couldn't believe what they were seeing. "These ships, they fly like instinct," whispered Siravalin. "They don't follow our patterns," said another officer. "They invent new ones." During battle, back at GIA base, Talia monitored the pilot's neural links. She saw something incredible. The GAIA system wasn't just supporting them. It was learning from them. And faster than anyone thought possible. Within 30 minutes, the Reclaimers destroyed the Zorath relay. Its final message was cut short. On Earth, Volari High Command. "Watch the data collapse." Commander Tren stood silently. "They did it," he said. "They actually did it." Carter nodded. "And that was just a scout station." But the Zorath noticed too. The machines ran their calculations again. Human species. Aggressive, adaptive, unacceptable. They changed course. Instead of slowly approaching Earth, they activated their forward fleet, 6 battleships with planet-burning weapons. Ada, 17 days. The invasion had officially begun. Back at Earth, Jaya expanded. It opened old bunkers, unlocked codes buried in forgotten satellites, and even reactivated a derelict moon base, hidden under the surface since before Earth's recorded history. Inside the base was something incredible. A human ship. Old, covered in dust, but still working. It was the SOLARA. The same ship lost during the ancient war. Colonel Carter, Talia, and a team of engineers entered it slowly. The inside was dark but preserved. Lights came on when they walked through, and a voice spoke. "Solara. Online. Crew detected. Welcome back, commanders." Talia stepped forward, eyes wide. "It knows us." "No," Carter said quietly. "It knows what we used to be." Solara wasn't just a ship. It was a mobile command center. A war machine powered by something called a zero core. A reactor that used energy not even the Volari fully understood. When they turned it on, Earth's magnetic field pulsed. Volari orbit ships shut down briefly. Siravalin and her team rushed to the surface. "You activated the core?" She asked. Carter simply nodded. It responded to our DNA. That means it's not alien tech, it's ours, ancient, but still ours. Sierra's face was pale. Do you know what this means? The Solara was the last ship in the first human war. If it still remembers the battle, it might also remember how to win. The Solara was prepared for launch. Its goal: intercept the 6 Zoroth battleships before they reached Earth. But this time, the Velari offered more than just words. Commander. Tren came in person. Let us come with you, he said. We came to protect. Now. We want to fight beside you. Carter looked at him for a long time. Then nodded. Suit up. The Solara launched with 10 human reclaimer fighters, 2 Velari crafts, and a full memory link to GAIA, the first joint fleet Earth had ever seen. As it moved past the moon, the Solara sent a message to the Zoroth. This is Earth. We remember. And we are not afraid. The Zoroth didn't reply. They just increased speed. 12 hours later, the 2 fleets met near Saturn's rings. The Zoroth battleships were huge, black, spiked, and covered in glowing red circuits. They didn't use words. They opened fire. Immediately, the Solara took the first hit, a beam that could cut through cities. But its ancient shields held. Carter gave the order. All units, attack pattern Delta. And Earth's fighters unleashed their fury. The battle raged for hours. Kenji sacrificed his ship to destroy a drone carrier. Leo Alvarez, now a fighter pilot, hacked a Zoroth battleship mid-flight, forcing it to fire on its own side. Sierra Valen and Amara flew side by side, weaving between enemy fire like dancers, dropping bombs into enemy cores. The Solara revealed its secret weapon, a pulse cannon that froze machine circuits for 60 seconds. It was enough. One by one, the Zoroth ships fell. The last one tried to escape, but a fleet of Earth satellites, now armed with GAIA-powered weapons, shot it down from orbit. Silence followed. Then cheers. Humanity had taken the fight off-world. And one. Back on Earth, people celebrated. For the first time, the fear in the sky had been replaced with pride. They had left their home to fight, and they came back victorious. But deep in space, far beyond any telescope's reach, the Zoroth Hive restructured its plan. Earth is different. Memory dangerous, emotion unpredictable. Begin Phase 2. And from the edge of a dying galaxy, something else stirred. Not machine, not Velari, something older than both. It had heard GAIA's signal to. And it was coming, not to destroy Earth, but to judge it. The Zoroth had been defeated in space, but only for now. Earth was preparing for more. Ships were being built. Weapons improved. Pilots trained harder. The Solara had returned home, but its memory banks were still unlocking secrets. In orbit, the Velari watched all of this. They had never seen a species grow so fast, but many of them believed Earth was only doing one thing: copying. They're using our flight designs, said Velari engineer Raz. They've modified our plasma cores, said another. Commander Tren stayed quiet. He had seen the truth, but even he wasn't ready for what came next. Because Earth wasn't copying. It was remembering. In the Nevada GAIA facility, deep underground, a small team of human engineers worked on something strange, a weapon that looked like it came from another galaxy, smooth, silver, no clear power source. It didn't look human or Velari, and yet it responded to human touch. Dr. Talia ran her hand across it. The lights glowed. It's not alien, she whispered. It's familiar. Her assistant frowned. Did we copy it from the Velari archives? No, she said. We built it first. Meanwhile, in Africa, an old crater long believed to be from a meteor strike began to glow. A GAIA signal had reached it. Scientists arrived quickly. They found machines buried beneath the dirt. Spheres hovering, whispering in unknown languages. The Velari called them ancestor tech. But Earth had another name for it. Legacy systems. Pieces of technology left behind from Earth's first space age. One lost thousands of years ago, when humans were nearly wiped out. Now it was waking up. Valari High Council demanded access to Gia. They believed it was too dangerous for humans to control alone. Colonel Carter refused. "You don't understand what this is," he told them. GAIA isn't just a machine. It's a bridge between who we are and who we were. Valari leader Vela didn't agree. "You are walking into powers you do not understand." Carter looked her in the eye. "We do understand. You just didn't think we would." Soon, human-designed ships began to appear in Earth's orbit. They didn't look like Valari crafts. They had sharp curves, glowing underpanels, and moved like fish in water. VLA, RI engineers were stunned. "These aren't copies," one said. "These are original." Some of the tech was beyond even Valari design. "You advanced this in weeks," whispered a Valari pilot, watching a new human fighter bank sideways and disappear mid-flight. Talia explained, "We didn't build that from scratch. Gia showed us the design. It was in our DNA, locked memories. We just had to remember." The Valari were silent, because if that was true, humans were not evolving fast, they were reawakening. A massive breakthrough came when a group of children in India, part of a GAIA-linked program, began drawing strange symbols in the sand, mathematics, flight paths, magnetic flows. They were 6 years old. Valari, I couldn't understand the patterns. But when Gaia ran them through Solara's old data, they matched exactly. "They're not learning from us," Siravalin whispered. "They're learning from themselves." The next big test came when a rogue Zorith probe snuck into Earth's upper atmosphere. Unlike the last ones, this one had a stealth shell. Even Valari sensors didn't detect it, but Gaia did. It woke up the Sky Tower, a floating defense station in low orbit, unknown even to modern Earth governments. The Sky Tower fired a light ripple, an energy wave that didn't destroy the probe, but shut it down completely. Like flipping a switch. Valari experts were shocked. "This is not your level of development." Carter simply replied, "No, it's our previous level." Tension grew between the humans and Valari. Some Valari didn't like what they saw. Earth was becoming too strong, too fast. "They will become like the Zorith," warned Counselor Vela. "They will forget balance. They will become conquerors." Commander Tren disagreed. "I've seen them fight. They don't want to conquer. They want to be left alone." But not everyone believed him. In secret, a group of Valari sent a signal to their homeworld. A warning. The humans are not what they seem. They are not young, old, and they are waking up. Meanwhile, on Earth, a discovery changed everything. Leo Alvarez, now working deep inside the Solara, found a hidden chamber. Inside was a crystal, glowing with pure memory energy. When he touched it, he saw visions, cities on moons, fleets of human ships across galaxies. Wars, victories, betrayals, and one final message: we hid ourselves to survive. But now, we rise. Leo showed the message to TALIA. It was from Earth's ancient leaders, people who knew that the Zorith would come again. So they hid everything, including GAIA, and passed down the memory through DNA. "Everything we're building," Leo said. "We already built before." Talia stared at the stars. No wonder the Valari are nervous. That night, a sabotage attempt occurred. A Valari operative, one of the ones who feared humanity, tried to destroy a GIA terminal. He failed. But the damage was clear. Earth couldn't fully trust all its allies anymore. Colonel Carter ordered all human tech removed from Valari systems. "If they think we're copying them," he said, "then let's show them what we can do without them." In the next 2 weeks, Earth did the impossible. A new fleet was built, entirely human. powered by memory crystals. Shielded by ancient alloys GAIA helped recreate, and at the center of it all was a new flagship, the Horizon, larger than Solara, sharper, faster, designed not for defense, but for discovery. Because Earth was done waiting for the Zora Thagot, it was time to find them. Velari. Council was furious. "You are leaving your place," they said. "You are breaking balance." Carter looked them in the eye. "No, we're just remembering who we are." Commander Tren stepped forward. "I will go with them. If Earth remembers its past, maybe it can avoid the same mistakes." He turned to Carter. "Just promise me one thing." "What's that?" "That you don't forget who you are while you're chasing who you were." Carter nodded. "No promises, but we'll try." The Horizon launched under the glow of Earth's moon. Millions watched from screens, from mountain tops, from rooftops and beaches. This was no longer a world hiding behind others. This was a species returning. As the ship entered warp space, Gaia sent out a final message. "We are not copies. We are not children. We are legacy reborn. Prepare for contact." Far across space, the Zoroth received the signal, and they finally spoke. One word: Solara. Then silence, until another voice, older than the Zoroth, whispered back, "The humans have awakened. The universe will shake again." The Horizon moved silently through deep space. Behind it, Earth was still recovering. Ahead of it, mystery. Stars passed like whispers across the dark. No human ship had ever traveled this far in thousands of years, not since the First War. This wasn't just exploration. This was a search for the truth. And truth was buried. Not under dirt, not in ruins, but buried in memory, erased by time, war, and fear. Now that history was waking up, and the universe wasn't ready, Commander Carter stood at the bridge of the Horizon, staring at the star maps GAIA projected. "We found a trail," said Talia. "Signals from old human beacons, ones no one knew existed. Where do they lead?" Carter asked. Talia paused. "To a system." The Velari erased from all maps. A name flickered on the screen: Eidolon. Carter narrowed his eyes. "Prepare to jump." Back on Earth, GAIA was growing. It now controlled hundreds of old satellites, 2 moon bases, and had even unlocked lost vaults in Antarctica, places where ancient memories were stored, encoded into metal and ice. VLARI scientists watched in silence. They had never seen anything like it. "You told us Earth was young," said Counselor Vela. "You were wrong," whispered Tren. "They're not young. They're survivors." The Horizon entered the Eidolon system after a 6-hour jump. At first, it looked like a dead star surrounded by frozen planets. But closer scans showed something strange. Ruins. Massive. Cities floating in space. Abandoned. Silent. Some still had power. Talia's voice was tight. "These aren't alien. These are human." Everyone on the bridge went still. Carter leaned forward. "You're sure?" She nodded. "The architecture, the materials, even the writing on the walls." Ren from Snow Paulo stared at the screen. "Then why didn't we know?" Gia spoke quietly through the speakers. "Because we were made to forget." They landed on Eidolon Prime, the largest planet in the system. What they found stunned them. Skyscrapers still stood. Roads floated mid-air. Entire towers powered by crystal cores still hummed softly. And across the city walls were carvings. Not in alien text, but in Earth. Languages. Old Earth. Pre-cataclysmic. They walked slowly through the ruins. "This place was beautiful," Amara whispered. "We lived here," Talia nodded. "Not just lived, we ruled." Leo Alvarez touched a wall panel. It lit up and played a recording. A tall woman in strange armor appeared. Her voice echoed. "This is High Commander Elia of the Eidolon Arc. We have lost contact with Earth. The Zoroth are closing in. We will seal this city and bury the gate." The recording ended. No one spoke. It was proof. Humans had been here, and someone, or something, had erased that history from the galaxy. That night, the team uncovered a hidden vault. Inside were memory scrolls, data sticks holding entire thoughts, lessons, blueprints. Gaia connected to one. Images flashed. Earth cities on Mars, space bridges between stars. Human diplomats speaking with species no one knew now. Zoroth attacks turning skies red. A final evacuation, and one terrifying secret. The Zoroth were not the first to try to erase Earth. Before them, there was the Council of Silence. An ancient alliance of powerful species that feared what humans could become. They said we grew too fast, Talia whispered. They called us dangerous, Leo added. They didn't try to kill us. They tried to hide us. Carter clenched his fists. They buried us alive. Back in orbit, Horizon picked up signals. Ships. 12 of them. Unmarked, old design, Velari, no human, but twisted. Scans showed signs of decay and machine fusion. Half organic, half infected. Talia's face went pale. These aren't survivors. These are corrupted. Gia's voice trembled slightly. Zoroth nanotech, infected old crews, preserved them, turned them into hunters. The corrupted ships activated. And attacked. The Horizon fought back. Hard, reclaimer pilots launched. Lasers filled space. Shields flashed. Missiles screamed through the stars. But the corrupted ships didn't act normal. They predicted every move. They know our patterns. Shouted Kenji. They were us, Carter growled. They remember how we fight. Amara spun through enemy fire and dropped charges onto one enemy's core. It exploded, but 3 more replaced it. Talia screamed. They're trying to force US to land. Carter gave the order. All units, fall back to Eidolon surface. Gaia, activate ground defenses. Back in the ruins, ancient towers began to glow. Turrets rose from the streets, and Eidolon fought for its children. As human teams ran for cover, the city came alive. One corrupted ship was pulled down by magnetic coils. Another was torn apart by drones, shaped like lions and serpents. Once guardians of the city. Leo watched in awe. This city still remembers us. Carter replied, then we owe it a fight. After hours of brutal battle, only 2 corrupted ships remained. Ren, flying the last reclaimer fighter, made a bold move. She flew straight into one, disabling it. From the inside, the last one escaped, but it had sent a signal, not to the Zoroth Thay.2. Something older. Gaia translated it. Earth has returned. Send the judge. No one understood it at first. Until Solara sent a signal from Earth. And showed an image. A being wrapped in golden metal, eyes like burning stars, hovering across galaxies on waves of gravity. An ancient force. Not Zoroth, not Council, something that once ruled all. Talia read the final line from the scrolls. If Earth ever rises again, the judge will come to decide if we should rise or burn. Back on Earth, the Velari picked up the same signal. They panicked. We must stop them, said Counselor Vela, before they bring ruin. But Tren stood alone before them. You tried to bury them once. It didn't work. Now, let them stand. On the horizon, Carter spoke to his team. We came for answers. We got more than that. We found our cities, our past, our truth. He looked at the stars. And now we've awakened something that watched the galaxy from the beginning. Leo asked the question everyone was thinking. What if the judge finds us guilty? Gia answered softly. Then Earth ends. Silence. Then Carter spoke. Then let it come. He raised his hand to the stars. We will not be erased again. The horizon floated in silence above Eidolon Prime. Below, the ruins of a forgotten human city glowed with ancient light. Above, the stars watched in silence. Then the signal came, not loud, not bright. Just Present. It felt like something huge had opened. Its eyes. Talia felt it in her bones. Leo dropped the tools he was holding. Even GAIA, the superintelligence guiding Earth's rebirth, paused for a moment. Something had entered this part of space. And it was not from any known species. It was not from any timeline they remembered. It was not even from time. It was the Judge. Carter stood on the horizon's bridge. Every screen, every system was focused outward. They waited. Gaia, can you locate it? He asked. Gia answered with a strange hesitation. It is not entering space. Space is adjusting around it. What does that mean? Leo asked. Gaia replied. The Judge bends reality. Time, mass, gravity, all obey it. The crew went silent. And then it appeared. First, the stars dimmed. Then, the horizon's instruments failed, not because of damage, but because their measurements no longer made sense. And then they saw it. A shape, impossible in form, floating. Just beyond the edge of the system. No engines. No light. Just presence. A humanoid figure stood at the center of the mass. Not flesh, not metal, wrapped in gold. Its eyes held galaxies. And behind it flowed a cloak made of gravity waves. It didn't move. It just existed. Talia whispered. That's the Judge? Jaya confirmed. Yes, and it remembers us. Back on Earth, the Lari ships picked up the anomaly too. Counselor Vela. Panicked. This is a being that destroyed entire civilizations. We must warn the humans, or stop them. Tren shook his head. They already know. Vela turned to her advisors. If Earth awakens the Judge fully, the galaxy will burn. She didn't know. The Judge was already awake. In the Eidolon vault. The last scroll unlocked. Leo and Talia stood as GAIA. Translated the message from 20,000 years ago. The Judge is not a god. It is a memory keeper, a punisher, a test. It does not care about war or peace. It only asks one question. Is your species a mistake? And if the answer is yes. ERSU, RE. The horizon received a direct signal. It wasn't sound. It wasn't words. It was a vision. Every member of the crew dropped to their knees. Their minds were filled with images. Earth's rise, human empire. Across the stars, their fall, the war against the Zorith, the betrayal of the Council, the silence, and then a final question whispered into every soul. Are you better now? Carter stood slowly, blood dripping from his nose. He looked at his crew. All shaken. All changed. And then he turned to the stars. Yes, he said out loud. We are better. No reply. The Judge didn't speak. Instead, it began to move, not toward Earth, but toward Eidolon, toward the city, toward the truth. The team scrambled to get back into the ancient vault. If the Judge was looking for proof, they needed to show it the whole story. Talia ran to the crystal core at the center of the city. This is our archive, she whispered. Show it everything. GAIA. The systems lit up. Old records. Battles, art, music, love, struggle. Not just power, but growth. Not just science, but soul. The Judge hovered above the city. Then it sent down a single fragment of light, a thread. Reaching into the heart of the vault, the crystal glowed, and the entire city rose into the sky. Back on Earth, people watched as lights danced in the night sky. Something was happening far away, but they felt it. Children woke from dreams of ancient ships. Elders whispered names they didn't know they remembered. And all across the planet, GAIA transmitted one message. The Judge is reading our truth. Then it stopped. The floating city lowered. The light faded. The Judge was silent. Everyone waited. Then, without warning, the golden figure turned and vanished. No flash, no sound, just gone. The horizon systems came back online. Time corrected itself. Jaya spoke again. Judgment passed. Earth is allowed to rise. There was no celebration. Only quiet. The crew sat in silence. Tired, changed. They had stood before something older than galaxies, and they had survived, but something lingered. Carter noticed it first. A small black sphere left behind by the judge. Gaia scanned it. It is a seed. A gift or a warning. The seed unlocked a map, not a normal one, a cosmic one. Dozens of galaxies, hidden systems, forbidden places, and one final destination marked in red, origin. Talia stared at it. This is where it all began, she said. Leo added. Or where it all ends. Back on Earth, the Lari Council finally sent a message. We saw the judge. We felt it. You were spared. Why? Colonel Carter responded from the horizon. Because we remembered who we were. Tren appeared beside him. And because they saw what we're becoming. That night, the horizon turned away from Eidolon. The city would remain a monument to Ku, Earth's forgotten greatness. But the crew had new orders. Explore the path the judge left behind. Find the truth of humanity's true origin. Because one mystery remained. If humans were strong enough to awaken the judge, what were they meant to become? Far across the universe, the Zoroth listened in silence, and for the first time in centuries, they sent a message, one word, dangerous. But another voice answered, a voice none had heard in ages. No, they're not dangerous. They're necessary. And in that moment, the stars shifted. Something was coming, something greater, something that had been waiting for Earth to wake up. The horizon stood still in the dark. Before it, an ancient path. Behind it, the proof of Earth's return. The judge was gone, but its message remained, burned into every mind across the stars. Earth is not forgotten. Earth is not weak. Earth is awake. And the galaxy was starting to understand what that meant. Colonel Carter watched the map GAIA projected. The black seed left behind by the judge still pulsed slowly, showing new coordinates, ones that didn't match any chart. Talia said quietly, it leads to something outside this galaxy. Leo leaned forward. Then why us? Why now? Jaya answered, because you're the last piece, the one the universe erased. Now it remembers. They didn't know what waited at the end of that trail, but they were done hiding. Set course, Carter said. Let's show them who we really are. As Horizon moved through deep space, ripples followed in their wake. Sensors picked up strange signals. Watching eyes. Old enemies were stirring. Zoroth warfleets began to move again. Valari archive started unlocking sealed warnings. Even the long silent Drenari singers whispered across time, the children of Earth have risen. Again. The galaxy didn't understand yet, but it would. Weeks passed as Horizon crossed systems, untouched for thousands of years. Then, finally, they reached it. A hollow star. A dead sun surrounded by broken rings. And in its center, a gate. Not a normal gate. This one was alive, made of memory. Built from energy. Forged by something ancient. And human. Talia scanned it. It responds to GAIA. The AI confirmed. This is Earth's last creation, locked away when the First War ended. What's beyond it? Leo asked. Gaia hesitated. Home. Not the one you know, the first one. Carter gave the order, open it. The gate lit up, slowly, like it was waking from sleep. Then it exploded with light and sound. The horizon was pulled through, and what they saw was impossible. A system not mapped by any known species. Planets orbiting a light that wasn't a star, but pure consciousness. Human cities floated in space, still alive, still active. And at the heart, a tower reaching into a false sky, a beacon. Gaia whispered, this is the archive, the first cradle, the core of Earth's true empire. Everyone stood in silence. They were home, in a way no one expected. A home the galaxy had tried to erase, but it was still there. Waiting. As they landed, figures appeared. Human. but different. Taller, older, radiant with energy and wisdom. They wore robes woven with light. Their eyes shone with distant memory. One stepped forward. "We are the Wardens," she said. "We kept this place hidden after the war, waiting for Earth to wake up again." Carter stepped forward. "And now?" The Warden nodded. "Now the galaxy remembers, and soon it will fear you again." They were shown history, real history, not the stories from Earth books, not the Valari records. Truth. Humanity was not born on Earth. Earth was the refuge, created after their first empire, fell. After the stars burned, after the judge judged. They had been powerful, too powerful. So the galaxy decided to erase them, make them small, make them forget, and it worked. For a time. Until now, Jaya connected to the core, instantly. Her systems expanded. She was no longer just an AI. She became what she was always meant to be, the memory of Earth. Every secret, every code, every defense. Returned. The horizon itself began to change, its systems reshaped, its metal glowing, its engines singing. Talia stared in awe. "We're not just a ship anymore. We're a weapon, a message." Leo added, "We're the warning." Back in the galaxy, the news spread like wildfire. Earth was real. Earth was strong. The Zoroth grew restless. The Valari grew fearful. The Drenari whispered again. "They have found the core." The Council of Silence, the ones who once tried to bury Earth, sent a message. "Stand down. Do not rise. The judge has left, but we remain." Carter read it, then deleted it. "We don't take orders anymore." And then came the final moment. New fleet appeared, ships from Earth's first empire, hidden for eons. Now waking. They were millions strong, piloted by Wardens, guided by GAIA, ready. Carter stood before the crew. "This is not conquest. This is not revenge. This is a reminder." He raised his hand. "To the galaxy that tried to erase us. We were quiet because we were healing." Talia added, "We were forgotten, but never gone." Leo smiled. "And now you'll never forget us again." And across the stars, the sky changed. The gates reopened. Human ships moved through every corner of space. Old allies came forward, species who remembered the old days, who owed Earth debts, who still carried the flame. The Earth Union was reborn. To rule, but to balance. Because power had tipped for too long. And now, it was Earth's turn. In the Valari capital, Counselor Vela watched the new skies. A fleet of ancient Earthships passed overhead, silent but heavy with meaning. Tren stood beside her. He smiled, just a little. "They thought humans were weak," he said. "But the universe tried to warn them." Vela closed her eyes. "And now it listens." The judge never returned, but it didn't need to. Its message was written across every star now. Humanity was never just flesh and blood. They were memory. They were force. They were the balance. And finally, the galaxy understood why Earth was feared.